Bryant's latest milestone. Not exactly one to brag about, and neither was the ending to last night's game as the Lakers fell to the Grizzlies 107-102. The Lakers came all the way back from a 17-point deficit. Then with 30 seconds remaining, down 3, Jordan Hill with the ball misses a 21-foot jumper.
Misunderstanding, right? You know, coach had called the sequence. Jeremy thought he had said 2 for 1. So he's calling for 2 for 1, and I was saying, hell no. There was just confusion. And but I mean, we still got a good look. Honestly, it was just like a misunderstanding. Like you're in an arena with a lot of people yelling and stuff like that, and coach makes a call, player thinks he sees one thing. You know what I mean? It's just happens, man. And when you're new and we're all just kind of getting to know each other, stuff like that happens.
So right after that shot, Kobe looked pretty exasperated. So do you agree or disagree with Kobe's post-game comments? Skip, let's go to you.
Stephen A., I completely and on an emotional level agree with what Kobe Bryant said after the game. I'm still having a hard time interpreting. When I first saw it on SportsCenter early this morning, it came across at first like a little bit of a between-the-line shot at Byron Scott, and now I'm starting to think it's more of a shot at Jordan Hill, that he misunderstood Byron's call. Not sure about that. Maybe you can better interpret for me.
I can.
But allow me to say, I loved watching Kobe Bryant last night because he turned into vintage, great old days Kobe Bryant. And after all the naysaying I read during the preseason, anonymous quotes from various general managers and personnel directors saying Kobe's on his last legs, he was not on his last legs last night. Down the stretch, he heated up. He took over the game. He scored 8 points with a couple of threes and a jumper. He had the hot hand, and I loved it that he was having the guts to do it on the same end of the same floor on which last year, guarded by Tony Allen, you recall that he hurt his knee.
Yep.
And it was just great. It's like great Kobe saying, watch this. I'm going to go back to the scene of the crime, and I'm going to do it right this time, and I'm going to live to tell this time. And I thought Memphis was not going to live to tell at home. So I'm on the edge of my chair. Last possession, got a chance to tie. I'm waiting for Kobe to go up. And what happened? All of a sudden, the ball goes to Jordan Hill, and he looks around, and he pumps it from 21 feet. And I looked at the shot chart this morning. He had taken 4 shots outside the paint, had Jordan Hill in this game and missed all 4. That made him 0 for 5 outside the paint. Not exactly the option you would look for with Kobe Bryant looking like Kobe again. So I fell out of my chair. I fell on the floor. I said, my God, what are you doing? And then you know the rest of the story. They go down the other end. Memphis misses shot, gets the rebound, converts, game over. I wanted to see Kobe close that deal because I think he was capable of closing that deal. And again, if that was even a veiled shot at Byron Scott, I don't love that. But I know Byron and Kobe are close enough. They're as much friends as they are player-coach. So I'm sure Byron would just shrug it off and go on to the next day.
No, I wasn't a shot at Byron Scott at all. He was basically describing the circumstances and answering the reporter's question in the post game, basically talking about what happened on that last play. And he also highlighted the noise in the crowd, how you've got new guys on the squad, and Jeremy Lin, your point guard, essentially misconstrued what the call was from the coach. I don't want to knock the Lakers too much. Number one, I applaud them for their effort. Memphis is a really, really good basketball team, and the Lakers went up in there and they fought. They had an opportunity to win that game, and they competed, and I give them a lot of credit for that. I look at a guy like Jordan Hill. Again, individually, there's some talent on this squad. Collectively, it doesn't work. But individually, there's some guys on this squad that can play, and Jordan Hill is one of them. He's averaging 14 and 9 on the season. Those are respectable numbers. But if you're Jordan Hill in the end, Skip, he's the GOAT in all of this because he's not new to the Lakers. He may be new to Byron Scott's system, but he's not new to the Lakers. And with Kobe Bryant on the floor, especially closing the way that he was closing, you got to know that if you're Jordan Hill, the last thing the Los Angeles Lakers need from you is some jump shot. That's just ridiculous. You got to know that you got to get the ball into the hands of the man or anybody but yourself because you ain't supposed to be shooting some daggone jumpers at that particular juncture. So that's why I would point the finger at Jordan Hill for this particular situation. But I didn't think that there was anything remotely offensive about what Kobe Bryant was saying, nor do I believe was he calling anybody out. He was just highlighting what had transpired on the last play to sort of clarify for us what had transpired.
Now, wait. So you initially blamed the point guard Jeremy Lin, though. You think it was more on Lin's shoulders than on Jordan Hill's shoulders?
No, what I'm saying is, but even though it's Jeremy Lin, it's on him to some degree because he's the point guard, Skip. At the same time, it wasn't like he didn't know the play. Kobe was saying that he may have misconstrued what Byron Scott was calling because of all the noise and everything like that going on. That was your problem. So even though it was on him, at the same time, you're Jordan Hill. What are you doing launching a shot when Kobe Bryant is right there, capable of getting the basketball? You know, if you don't know anything else, you know you ain't supposed to shoot the ball from that. Now, if you're Jordan Hill and you're 5 feet and in from the basket, that's a different ball game because you get the call, you get the ball there with a purpose. But if you outside beyond the foul line, you know good and well you ain't supposed to be shooting that basketball. So what are you doing it for? Now, you talk about a 2-for-1 scenario.
Yeah, that's what he thought.
Well, again, that's a problem. Because if it were a 2-for-1 scenario, you're Jordan Hill. You know the play wasn't designed for you. You know that.
Okay, but if it's 2-for-1, you need to get up a shot quickly. So he shot it quickly because he thought that was the idea. Let's get up 2 shots in the time we could get up 1 shot.
I understand that. I understand that. I guess what I'm saying is because he was in the situation that he was in, you've got to have the wherewithal to know that's probably the wrong call because there's no way on earth that call would have been made for you. You've got to know that.
Okay. I just didn't want you to find a way to criticize Jeremy Lin in this discussion.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just
no. Jeremy Lin is not a scrub. He's not a scrub. He's just not the second coming like you thought he was a few years ago.
I didn't say he was the second coming.
You acted like it.
Well, he made a few big shots for your Knicks. Was that not like the most exciting time you've had in New York in the last, what, 10 years?
Well, that's not saying much.
Well, okay, but it's saying something.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Kobe is shooting just 39% from the floor. That's the lowest percentage of his career. And you're still comfortable with that, Stephen A., giving him the ball? You're good with that?
No, I'm always comfortable giving Kobe the ball when it's time to close. It's time to close.
It is time to close, at least